Hey everybody, my name is Derek and I'm going to be talking to you today about Lev Vygotsky's social interaction theory. Lev Vygotsky was a Russian psychologist who lived back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Unfortunately, he died at the young age of 38 years old. But let's start talking about his social interaction theory, okay? Here we go. Social interaction by Lev Vygotsky, and that's me, Derek Crewe. Communication. A social interaction is communication between two or more people about the way we share ideas and how we want to live. Social interaction can be planned between small groups of people or larger groups of people, like a community. By working with one another, people create rules, societies, and organizations in which they want to live. Vygotsky's theory. Social interaction theory is an explanation of language development, highlighting the role of social interaction between a young child and an adult. It is based largely on the socio-cultural theories of Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky in the early 1900s. He believed that the community plays an important part of a child's understanding, and that social learning comes before development. Vygotsky's theory places emphasis on culture and social factors affecting cognitive development, and that adults are an important part of it. He believed the environment in which children grow up in will influence how they think and what they think about. He states that children internalize what adults do and are born with basic materials and abilities for intellectual development, but also need social interaction to develop skills like attention, reasoning, perception, language, and memory. If we think back to when we were young, or even look at children today, everything we noticed, we took in and tried to imitate. Children learn to crawl, they learn to walk, and they learn to run. Here is an example of a child imitating how to crawl.
No wonder I started walking at an early age. This is hard on the knees.
All right, and here's an example of a child learning how to walk. Sorry guys, here we go.
This is much better.
And here is another example of a child learning how to run.
I'm too old for this.
All right, remind me to call the Actors Union, never to hire this guy again. All right, here's a doorbell example. Another example would be answering a doorbell. When a doorbell rings, you may show many cognitive functions you learn because of social interaction with family members. You use perception, hearing the doorbell, decision making, do I answer it or not? Motor skills, opening the door, language skills, talking and understanding language, and social skills, interacting with another person. All of this you learn by watching your parents answering the door. Vygotsky's theory says there is a process of social interaction. Seeing, you see an adult doing an activity, collaboration, you do an activity together, and doing things independently. You do the activity by yourself. Like answering a door, you saw your parents answering the door many times. Then you talked with them how to answer a door, and you were able to answer the door without help. So here's an example of perception and decision making of answering a doorbell.
That's the doorbell. Wonder if I should answer it.
All right. Now here's an example of motor and language skill and social skills. So it's motor, language, and social skills of answering a doorbell?
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
All right, come on in.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
All right, and remember, never answer the door unless you know who is on the other side. All right, here's the zone of proximal development, the ZPD. Adults structure activities so the child's role is within his or her own zone of proximal development, the ZPD. The ZPD is the difference between what a learner can do without help and what a learner can do with help. With help, you are taught how to play a game with somebody. Without help, you can play on your own. So here is the zone of proximal development. This is where Vygotsky wanted teachers to teach. In the purple area here, what I can do with help. So that's in this purple area. On the outside is what I can't do, is what a student can't do. That's in the blue area. In the purple is the zone of proximal development, what I can do with help, and that's where Vygotsky wanted teachers to teach. And then in the center, in the green area, it's what I can do all alone. That's the independent, what the student can do all on their own. So in the zone of proximal development, the child's performance is at a higher level with adult guidance. Eventually, through participating with an adult, the child becomes more capable of carrying out similar activities on their own because of the help they received. When inside the zone of proximal development, adults and children look at things a little differently. The child and adult must come to an agreement on how to understand a situation before they can achieve an end goal. Where children can use their imaginations on certain things and adults look at things more literally. In the zone of proximal development, adults break things down for a child to easily understand and complete the activity. The adult aids the child, supports the child when they are struggling, and then steps away when the child is doing well. Even though Vygotsky didn't use the term scaffolding, a lesson, this is basically what he's talking about. So here is an example of being in the ZPD, learning how to dance. You watch people dancing, and then you try to imitate their moves with your own moves.
What's your sign? I'm a Vygotsky.
All right. So here's another example of being in the ZPD, learning how to drive. Adults teach you how to operate a vehicle. As you improve in your driving skills, less instruction is given until you can drive on your own. Oh, sorry guys.
Are we there yet?
All right, remind me to talk to that actors union again. All right, in the classroom. In the classroom, an example of Vygotsky's theory is reciprocal teaching. Teaching which is used to improve a student's ability to learn from text. In this method, teachers and students collaborate in learning and practicing 4 key skills: summarizing, questioning, clarifying, and predicting. The teacher's role in this learning process becomes less and less as time goes on. During collaborative learning, groups should have different levels of ability, so more advanced students can help others learn within their zone of proximal development. Also in the classroom, Vygotsky wants educators to assign tasks that students cannot do on their own, but can do with help. This will put students in the zone of proximal development, the ZPD. Teachers should provide just enough assistance so that the students learn to complete tasks independently and provide an environment that let students complete challenging tasks with less and less guidance. Again, we're talking about scaffolding, and even though Vygotsky, he didn't use the term scaffolding, but this is what he's talking about. So I'd like to leave you with two questions. Question number one, how would you utilize the ZPD in your classroom? And question number two, Vygotsky thought that standardized tests were inaccurate because they only measured what students are capable to do on their own, and not in a social setting where students can brainstorm and influence each other. Is this a good viewpoint that he had? All right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys listening to my lesson. I hope everybody does well. Good luck to everyone, and I will see you hopefully in the future.